Hi guys, welcome back. We are doing another piece of work here on the old Boxford lathe restoration. This is the tailstock. Of course this usually lives here, but right now is the wrong colour. Most of it's the wrong colour anyway. Bits of the original paint still show, and that's remarkably similar colour to the industry grey enamel paint that I've painted the rest with. But for now I need to take this to pieces, strip it down to bare metal, and then prime and paint to match the rest of the lathe. Following that, we have just one more piece to do, which is the pulley unit. So that will be in the next video. But for now, I'm just going to work on stripping down the tail stock. Now, hopefully the video quality is going to be a bit better in this one. I'm following some advice from a subscriber and actually trying to use the camera in my phone. So let me know if this works better for you. Comments down below. Really a very straightforward strip down, this one, but you know, it should be useful enough just to see what is involved. There isn't too many components. The quill comes out as a solid piece. There is a screw on either side, little machine screw there on either side. This one is bent, so I'll be fabricating a fresh one of those and throw it on the floor. 2 screws. Let's collect these. Having removed that, the quill itself is held in place by a plate to stop it rotating. So if we take off the lock and the bushing that goes underneath that, that should just slide out. It's in beautiful condition actually. It just needs the grey refinishing, and I think we are near enough good to go with this. Right, now I could drive that out or put some locking nuts on here and twist that out, but I'm not going to. You can see in there the plate. I shall just mask this off instead as I'm refinishing. Make life a little easier. No point taking it apart unless you absolutely have to. But for now, I think that's good. I'm going to need a little hex key to remove the grub screw from here. Now you'll remember from the slide unit, the cross sliding compound, that this holds position in the middle of the slot there. So this holds position, keeps the eccentric in the right place to move the dovetail in and out. So a few pieces to polish up, but nothing really needs doing with those. And we're good to go with the strip down. Now what I could do at this point is I could, as I say, put a couple of nuts onto this, lock them against each other, twist the whole thing out, remove that plate. To be honest, the inside of that is so very clean that I'm not going to bother. I'm going to just mask that up, and in the first instance really all we need to do is as before, put the paint stripper on, wrap it up, and let the paint stripper do its work. Give it a quick clean off afterwards with hot soapy water, and then we're good to go. So jobs to do. Obviously need to keep all of these in a very safe place, but jobs to do. I need to just strip the paint off, fabricate a new machine screw to hold the cover on, polish that of course because that's pretty horrendous, and I think at the same time I'm going to rust treat the handle. I think that is only mild steel, so that should clean up rather nicely. So I'm just going to get a little spanner here just to take that end off. Okay, place a little, the original pinch nut on there. This will now back off. We have another spacer, and now I can properly clean that up. So a few rusty parts here that are going to need a bit of attention with the anti-rust gel. A few components here that are going to need a bit of paint stripping action, and wrapping in cling film. So having stripped all these bits down, let's get busy and start cleaning them up. I think I'm going to just fast wind through all this piece, so shouldn't be too painful for you to watch. So we've got a little multitasking going on over here. So this side we've got the de-rusting going on, the rust removing gel working its magic on the winders and so on. This side we've got it primed, rubbed down, ready for enamel. Alright guys, so here we are bright and early next morning. Everything's painted, polished, ready to reassemble. We don't need many tools to reassemble, same way we didn't need many to take it apart. Let's just get on, give everything a quick spray of penetrating oil. Move the tea first. This is pretty cold in the shop this morning. First time this year I've been able to see the steam off my brew. There it is. Right, so let's set the coil back. That's nicely lubricated. Which it is. Nice thing about these paints, enamel paints, is you don't need to be too precious about a bit of oil spilling on it, which is just as well really, given what's going to happen to it through the life of the lathe. Okay, so that's nicely seated. So on the inside of this there is a spacer and the retaining ring, which I'll screw on in a moment. On the outside of that, of course, we then have let's see, another spacer, not that one, that goes on here, locking nut on the top there. Two little machine screws that hold this in place. Lovely. Now, wind it. Nipped up in place, of course, with the pinch nut. Tidy that up in a second. And just one last piece, which is underneath. If you recall, the now nice clean slider pin goes in. The grub screw holds in this groove here, keeps the eccentric that lifts and lowers the dovetail in place. So we'll slot the eccentric in its hole. That's got it. spot of oil in that hole before relocating the dodge screw. There we go. So that is the tailstock reconditioned. Just need to nip it up. So there you go, guys, the finished product. Extremely happy with the way that's turned out. Very, very free spinning. In fact, ridiculously free spinning considering what it was like before. Locks nicely. And the dovetail on the bottom again slides incredibly easily and locks it firmly in place. So don't forget to undo that. So very, very usable. And as I mentioned before, I've got a few projects in mind for this once it's been fully refitted. So on with the next part of the restoration, which is going to be the pulley unit. So keep peeled for that video dropping. I'll be working on that this afternoon, so it shouldn't take too long. Thanks very much for watching this far. If this is your kind of thing, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Take it easy, guys. Cheers.